So it is with great pleasure that I invite someone from my home country, Brazil, from São Paulo, Carol Lafemina, Deputy Secretary of Economic Development and Labor of the city, so that we can explore a little bit more of the stories of a circular economy for food in São Paulo. Welcome to the stage, Carol.
Thank you. Thank you.
Please take your seat. Right. So 12 million people in the city alone, 21 million if we count on the metropolitan region as well. It's huge.
Yes.
How is the circular economy shaping up the food systems and priorities in the biggest city of Latin America and one of the biggest of the world, Carol?
First of all, it's a great honor to be here. We are really excited. Our mayor, Bruno Covas, and our secretary, Aline Cardoso, and Luisa, and all of the team from MacArthur's Foundation. We would like to thank you so much for the partnership. And I would like to say I'm sorry from my English, so I will try to do my best. São Paulo city government, as Luisa told us, is really, our city hall is really huge. We are talking about 12 million people. We are talking about 21 if we count the metropolitan region. And talking about a little bit more about numbers, our territory is 1,500 square kilometers, and 30% of our city is rural territory. We are talking about a huge green area in the south of our city. There are family agriculture there. And this is one of our actions. The first of our actions is about food waste. We are working about food waste control and loss reduction. We have a program in our secretary for economic development and labor. And the objectives of this is a campaign we started at the end of the year 2017 to reduce food waste, especially in public supply equipments. So what we are doing there, we collect fruit, vegetables, and leaves from all of public equipment. We are starting now with public markets, and we collect it, send to our food bank. Our food bank, we wash, clean, and separate this food, and we distribute for 310 social organizations now. So we are talking about food security, about social inclusion, and about environment, obviously. And by the starting, it is still a pilot. We need to increase it. And this pilot, we have collected 110 tons since the end of 2017 till today. Our potentially can achieve 38 tons per month. It's an important number, and we are working hard to do it. At a second area, a second action is about organic food at our public schools. We have now 3,800 public schools there in São Paulo, only in the city hall. We are not counting the state schools. And 1 million students, 500 educators. And we have a federal law which determines that 30% of what is acquired must come from family farmers. This is a great initiative too. Now, we purchase of 56 tons of organic vegetables. It's another initiative about organic food at public schools. And our goal is to achieve 100% organic food for the school lunches and for all the school meals. Another initiative is about composting. Actually, we have 5 decentralized public composting areas. It's new in our country, and it's new in São Paulo too. There will be 17 till the end of 2020. we are working hard on the Milan Urban Food Policy Pact and the Global Goals for Sustainable Development too. And another initiative I would like to share to you guys is about organic and local production. As I said, 30% of our city is a rural zone, a rural area. Especially this area we call Parelheiros. It's a neighborhood in extremely high vulnerability. And we are working hard to promote the improvement of productive processes and to increase the production capacity of farmers. So the family agriculture can provide food to our public schools.
And that's the Connect the Dot project aspect, right? So we've been in our research, the analysis phase of our research, we researched a lot about all these initiatives in São Paulo, and that's, of course, one of the reasons why we are so excited about working with São Paulo as a flagship city. And what Carol just mentioned is it's the aspect of the Connect the Dot project. One aspect that was very interesting for us is that everything is very much connected to the food and the materials and the nutrients in the food, but it also embeds the social aspect in it. As Carol keeps saying about the family agriculture, so the smallholder farmers are in the fringes of the cities. They have been pretty much excluded from the city by the urban sprawl, disorganized urban sprawl, and this area that Carol mentioned is has a high vulnerability rate, but there is also where a lot of the food is produced that can actually feed the market, although it's also a food desert where people do not access healthy food. So there are some paradoxical things there. So about the Connect the Dots project, which we found so exciting because it applies naturally so much of the circular economy principles. Can you tell us, just in high level, what are some of the results of the project?
Sure. Connect the Dots is a Mayor's Challenge Prize from Bloomberg Philanthropies. And our main is to potentialize sustainable territorial development, to empower small producers by qualification, by acceleration, so they can provide more vegetables, fruits, and leaves to our schools, for example. And we have...
I can help you.
You can help me?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
Uma preocupação. We are worried. We are worried about maintaining the rural landscape too. So we have now more than 500 families living off of the agricultural industry there. So we have 8 agronomists from our city hall working there with that family farmers, and we have entrepreneurship and contents about entrepreneurship qualification for now 150 producers. We are going to increase it and to improve to all of them. And we are working hard, and Luisa knows because we always talk about it, about transition towards organic production. We are working hard on this transition too.
The agroecological transition, which means moving towards more regenerative practices. As you said, it is important to keep the rural areas because, and I don't know if the audience knows, but São Paulo had a very serious drought problem back in 2014 in a tropical country where it rains a lot, and it at the same time has flood problems in the city. That's a paradox, but one of the reasons why this project is so strategic and the regeneration aspect of it is so important is that these areas are water production areas. So the native forest that is there is actually where water springs are, and they feed the city. So the relevance of that project has an environmental aspect about regenerating.
Social one?
Yeah, and a social one, because those people are poor. They're living below the poverty level.
Yes.
So can you tell us a bit more about what's next on that project? What is it going to come after the agroecological transition?
Sure. We are working hard to really connect the dots. We are going to connect agricultural production by a platform we are building to market demand. And this platform will
go live.
Yes, at this second part of the semester of the year. Another goals to the future is to attend all of the family farmers, is to increase from 150 now to 400, almost 500 families who live there. Yeah. And to really help the small producers to get empowered. We need to empower that people. They need help, our city needs help, and we always tell, we live in the city, we don't live at the state, we don't live at the government, the federal government, we live in the city. So we are really, really happy to be here, and thank you for your partnership, Luisa. Thank you for all of you guys. And again, I'm sorry for my English, my English.
Thank you, Carol.